everyone, my name is Miss Who and I am a physics teacher. So what we're going to be doing in this video is we are going to put together a STEM toy hydraulic lift made out of simple wooden frame as well as a couple of syringes and some water. We're going to see how this is able to manipulate the lift just by pushing and pulling the syringe. This system works on Pascal's principle, and I'll explain how the principle works to make this lift move up and down after we've assembled the STEM toy together. Alright, so let's take a look at what's inside the package. So I'm going to open this up, and you can see that so these are the syringes. These syringes are super important because without the syringes, you won't be able to see the lift move up and down. And these are the syringes that are going to work based on Pascal's principle. And you can see that the syringes are not the same size. You know, one is slightly larger than the other, and that's important because if they have exactly the same size, you know, they may not work so well. Of course, we have the hose, which is going to connect these two syringes. Okay, and we have all these rivets and stuff because that's what's going to put together the wooden frames together, and of course some zip ties. The paper does come with some instructions, so this is what we have, okay, and how it works and how to put them together. Now if you can't read Mandarin, it's alright because there's actually a bunch of pictures here which we just need to follow in order to put the whole thing together. It's not difficult, and we'll just follow the pictures here if you can't read the instructions. If you can read Mandarin, all the better for you. So first things first, of course, this is the wooden frame which contains all the skeleton of the hydraulic lift, and we're going to have to remove all of this carefully, of course. Let's not break anything. If we break something, problem is there's no backup for us to use. So remember, if you're putting this together, be careful as you pop them out. Now the good thing is, of course, all these already have been pre-cut for us. You just need to be able to gently push them out of the wooden frame. And ta-da! We have it! So first things first, we're going to get these 8 pieces and form crosses just like this. And we can see that also that there are some pieces where the holes are smaller than others, and we have to make sure the smaller holes are on the top and bottom on the outside, just like arranged in this diagram. So we take a look, you can see that yes, some of the holes are smaller than others. You can see the hole here and the hole here, different size, right? This is slightly smaller, so we're going to make sure we have those pieces. We've got smaller holes here, as well as this one. So these 4 are going to be on the outside just like in the diagram. And we have the cross here, and cross here. So I'm arranging these first to make sure that we have the correct arrangement as shown in the picture, right? So smaller holes here and smaller holes here, smaller holes here, smaller holes here, just like it is. So now we have these arranged. We are going to take these rivets and we're going to put together the cross frames. Okay, so this just goes through, and on the other side, this is where the smaller rivet goes in to close it up. And there we go. So making sure that we have this correctly. And then these 2, we will have to secure these 2 together. And there we go. So we're going to do the same thing with this set. And there we go. So just test that these can move, because obviously the hydraulic lift needs to go up and down. And this is set. Now in the second step, what we're going to do is we're going to put this frame together. So we're going to put the larger piece of wood together with these two smaller pieces, which look just like this. But if you check the set that we have, there are actually two pairs where the size of one pair is slightly larger than the other. For this, we're going to use the larger pair. So the smaller pair, we're going to put it aside first for later use, and we're going to put together this pair together with the large frame. So how we're going to put it together is, now, I want you to think of this as like a smiley face. The smiley face goes at the bottom. We are going to put these two, insert them into these two slots. And we're going to make sure that the long slit over here is on the other side of the smiley face. So it looks like this. So you're going to slot it in like this and like this. Okay, secure them, make sure that it's inserted, and there we go. Step number 3, we're going to now put together what we have already assembled together, which means we are going to put together these cross frames together with the main base. So these are the items we have already assembled. This is the main base, and these are the cross frames. Now we have to make sure where the small holes are. The small holes must be on the side where the long slits are. So to make sure that we've got this right, I'm going to arrange it like so. Here's the small holes, and here are the small holes, so that's on this side. We're going to put this together with the axle and the wheels. Now, there are two sizes here. Make sure that you take the longer one. The longer one is going to go at the bottom of the hydraulic lift, and we're going to put that together with the wheels. So first of all, we're going to attach this together. Okay, like so. This is going to go through the slit, and we're going to place, and we're going to slide the slit through the smaller hole first on this side, and then on this side, and then it goes through to the other end, and we're going to secure it with the other wheel. So this is the wheel and axle, which is going to control the ascent and descent of the hydraulic lift. Of course, we have to secure this though, because as you can see now, nothing's happening, right? So this hole must be secured to this end through the hole with the rivet. And there we go. So now if we were to try to slide this, you can see how this frame is now moving. So we've got it right so far. Number 4, what we're going to do is we're going to attach the top part of the support onto the frame that we have constructed so far. So remember the two smaller pieces I mentioned earlier? This is now going to sit on top like this. How to put this together? That's what the other axle is for. And we have a couple of orange pieces that came together with the package. We're going to put this together to hold that top support up. And it goes like this. So we're going to first attach one end like this, put it through, and this is going to go here. And through this, out through the other small hole and we secure it with the other orange piece, like so. This has to be, of course, fixed to the top part of the frame with rivets, just like this. And ta-da! And that's done. So you can see how, as we test it, move this up and down, like so. Yeah. Step number 5. We have to put the platform on top of the hydraulic lift, because without a platform, how are we going to carry anything, right? So you can see where there are slots here and there are bits sticking out here. We're going to make sure that this sticking out bits go into the slots. Now we just can't push it down because obviously it's a little bit fragile. So carefully putting it together like so. Quick testaroonie. Yep, and there we go. So this is the frame we have put together so far. Step number 6, we are going to put the syringes together with the hydraulic lift. Because without the syringes, how are we going to be able to manipulate the movement of the hydraulic lift, correct? So we have 2 syringes here. You can see one has a flat top and one doesn't. We're going to put this at the base of the hydraulic lift, because you can see that there's a hole here, and this hole is important because we're going to fit this metal axle through this hole. So yes, we're going to have to take this out and put the syringe in, but don't worry, it's really easy. We have to put together this frame first to check that it works before we could put the syringe in anyway. So how we're going to secure this is, of course, with the zip ties. This slot here is for us to fit this syringe in here like so that it stays on one spot. Okay, so first we're going to pull this open to make sure that it reaches the metal axle. So we're going to just open up this. It's really simple, just be careful. Okay, and carefully. So this goes through the hole like so onto the other side, and we are going to reattach it with the wheel. As you can see now, the syringe is here. So this is important because then you can see how the syringe will be able to manipulate the metal axle easily. So this part of the plastic frame goes inside the slot to make sure it stays. So we have 2 zip ties here. One was provided as a backup, as a just in case, but we only need one. And so we're just going to secure the syringe like so. And it's secure. And if we try to manipulate this, you can see now it works. So we're just going to cut off the excess bit here. So we're just going to cut off the excess bit because otherwise it's going to stick out. It doesn't look very good. Just make sure that everything is secure before we cut it off. And there we go. So it's actually not written in the instructions, but we do need to attach these 2 pieces at the bottom, because as you can see how the syringe bit sticks out at the bottom, we do need some stability in order for the hydraulic lift to be able to be manipulated easily up and down. So for the other syringe, what we're going to do is we're going to attach the hose to the 2 ends of the syringes. And there you go. We have the completed hydraulic lift with the syringes. But if you try to manipulate it now, it's not going to work. You can see nothing's happening, because for the hydraulic lift to work, like mentioned, it's a hydraulic lift. You need to have liquid inside the syringe. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill up one of the syringes with water so that the hose and the syringes have water, and then it will work. So for this to work, we need to fill up the syringe with water, and I've got some colored water here, and the reason why it's colored is just so that it's easier to see on camera. You don't actually have to color the water, it's not necessary, it's just that it looks nicer when it's got colored water. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill up the syringe like this, and attach it to the other side of the syringe like so. Now it works best if the entire bit of the syringe hose and this syringe is filled with water. So you can see that it doesn't really quite work. So what I'm going to do is we're going to fill up a little bit more of water, so we can see this syringe already has water, right? So I'm just going to fill up more of the hose with water. So you can see now the entire bit is filled with water. So now it's not quite working because it's too full. So I'm just going to unplug this, and for this syringe we need to make sure that it's only full when it's at its minimum volume at this position. Then it will work better. So if we try again, you can see now it works. You'll find that if there is no water in the system and there's only air, or if there is air trapped together with the water inside the syringe and hose system, the lift will not work. So how this hydraulic lift system works is based on Pascal's principle, which states that pressure is transferred uniformly throughout a liquid in a closed system. So that's why this works best when it's completely full of liquid. If there's only air inside or even any trapped air inside, it doesn't work so well as you saw earlier. So it works best when it's completely full of liquid. So what happens is when I pull a liquid this way, the force exerted on the liquid is converted to pressure, pulling it that way. And what happens is the liquid gets pulled this way as well because the pressure is transferred uniformly. And because the syringe gets pulled in, that's why this system goes up, because that's how the system is designed. As I press this down, it exerts a force onto the liquid, which is converted to pressure. This pressure is transferred throughout the liquid and presses the syringe that way. And because it is designed in such a way that when we press down, when it goes that way, the lift comes down. So I hope you had a lot of fun putting this lift together, and you know what? Don't forget to have fun. Just put stuff on this and see, how much weight do you think this lift can actually support? If you would like to purchase this hydraulic lift toy, just contact me using the contact details provided below. Do check out my catalog of other STEM toys you can also purchase. Thank you for watching and have a lot of fun!